What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy, Marlon. We're back at it again here with another one. Thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. I come bearing good news today. Now, let's start it off by saying that the internet, our streaming internet, will be first overnighted to us tomorrow. So I will be back streaming tomorrow, and also I have some giveaways for you guys as well. Just a token of my appreciation on behalf of me and the team. Shout out to all of you guys. We do have some massive news topics to go over today, and I believe it's about 7 pieces of news content. So do me a favor, make sure you guys thumbs up the news videos, as well as subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Link will be also down in the description for our PlayStation 5 giveaway, road to 50k. So once we get to 50k, we'll be giving away a disc-based version PlayStation 5. So thank you guys so much for the tremendous support on that. All right, so let's go off into our first story of the day. Now, this was actually sent to me via Twitter. Someone apparently was cleaning their PS5, and upon discovery they realized that their PS5 was leaking liquid metal. So apparently the PS5 somehow, maybe the barrier, because remember Sony put a firm barrier between the actual chip and, you know, sort of trying to trap that liquid metal in there so it don't seep out or what have you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So this was sent to me via Twitter. Seems as though this person is from Instagram. So basically they said liquid metal on the back of the PS5. I found it while I was cleaning it. And that's interesting because if you look right here, you can see sort of like a silverish sort of liquid seeping through the back here, which is interesting because remember, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this as well. This is the nice barrier that Sony, you know, put in place so that the liquid metal can be trapped, and it's down in here. So it's like, I don't know how that liquid metal, you know, got out of this barrier right here and then seep through this protective coating here, this sponge protective coating, and, you know, got on the board and seep all the way to the back of the PlayStation 5. And you do know that liquid metal is one of the strongest that you can use. I mean, it lasts a little bit longer than the regular, you know, compounds that you can get and everything like that. But once this touches the board, then that's all she wrote. You know, it's going to short out the board and everything like that. So this is very interesting. I'm pretty sure that this person can just call Sony and say, hey, the liquid metal seep out, and, you know, I can't turn on my PS5 because all the electrical components on the board would just be completely shorted out. So hopefully they can get this, you know, up and running. I'm telling you, man, it's all sorts of craziness happening with PS5s. I mean, I went through my fair share of PS5s and everything. So leave y'all thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you guys think about that particular situation. All right, guys, so let's move on here to the next topic at hand, and this has to do with God of War. You guys know on this channel I'm a huge God of War fan, been playing God of War since the first God of War all the way up until where we at now with God of War on PS4, and I cannot wait for God of War Ragnarok. And it's interesting because people are looking for every bit of information that they can possibly get on God of War Ragnarok. And I remember putting out a tweet because there was a release date that was put out there. I think it was this like early November or something like that. I don't remember specifically when the release date, the so-called release date, said February 5th. I knew that release date was just a made-up release date, that it's not going to come out that soon. And so we already know that the game is coming out fall of this year, which the hype level is real because year one for Sony is going to be insane. The next state of play is going to be insane. And with that being said, there's this big talk about if God of War Ragnarok is going to be a cross-gen game or not. And like I said, I don't care. I really don't care, because it's really not going to impact how the game looks or play. Because remember, Jim Ryan said that, you know, any cross-generation game between PS4 and PS5 is going to be the lead development SKU. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, PS5 version is going to get all the bells and whistles. It's going to have all the major perks on the new hardware, you know? So it's really not that big of a deal. But On that note, I just wanted to share this with you guys that David Jaffe, you guys know that David Jaffe, the man behind, I think, the first two God of Wars. I don't remember if he worked on God of War 3, but the man's a legend and everything like that. And sometimes his choice of words that he will put out there to the world is not the nicest thing that I could say, but hey, it is what it is at this point. The man was upset. People's been bugging him, asking him about Ragnarok. Like, obviously, he haven't worked on a God of War game, I think, since maybe in the past, 14, 15 years. So he wouldn't really know. He's not helping develop God of War Ragnarok, so he wouldn't really know. But anyways, let's take a look at this right here. It said David Jaffe has zero knowledge on cross-gen God of War Ragnarok. And of course, and even if he had knowledge on the game, he's not going to spill it, you know what I'm saying? Because heavy NDA on this, and you guys know how Sony is. I'm pretty sure he probably knows something. You know, he's probably cool with Corey and all that, but yeah, I don't think he's going to spill any sort of beans or anything like that. And, you know, this is very interesting because in his tweet, I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to read everything verbatim, but he was cussing and all that type of stuff. But he says, I have zero knowledge if the new God of War is cross-gen. But come on, of course it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So he's basically saying, oh, come on, of course it is. Of course it's going to be cross-gen. And like I said, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And so right here he says, I was stating on opinion base on things Jim Ryan has said in press, and that the fact that I am not the effing moron. So look, man, look. And I know a lot of these developers and everything like that, they get harassed and everything like that. But hey, it is what it is. If God of War Ragnarok is cross-gen, oh freaking well. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. People are still going to buy it. It's still going to do well. It's going to sell millions of copies. I think God of War for the PS4 brought in Sony, $500 million in revenue. Are you kidding me? So look, it is what it is. So what if it's on PS4? I mean, PS4 is going to continue to get support for at least the next 3 years max. So it's not really that big of a deal considering that the PS5 is going to be the lead SKU. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead here to our next topic at hand, and this is very interesting. I knew when the PS5 was coming out, once we saw how the controller, the DualSense is looking, and of course the system, you could take off both the side panels and everything like that. I knew customization was going to be king. A lot of companies, including Sony and a lot of third-party companies, are going to make a lot of money off of the PS5, and this company sort of popped up out of nowhere. I don't know much about them, but I really do like the custom designs that they have here for the DualSense controller. It's called ColorWare. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at this here. It's pretty interesting. So you have all different colors, but the only downside to this, I think it takes about 5 weeks max for them to actually get this out to you. But if you look at this, it's sort of like a gloss type color that is being painted on the controller. It looks really good. You have all different type of colors matching and all that. You got metallic, all of that type of stuff, and it's $109. So you're gonna pay a little premium for these, colors, paint job on it and everything like that. And it ships with between 5 to 6 weeks. So between 5 to 6 weeks it's going to take. So if you really want to customize your DualSense controller, I thought that this was pretty legendary though. Like the colors, I mean, everything actually looks really good. You could change like the middle portion here with a different color or what have you. So let me know if you're interested. Link will be definitely in the description down below. I'm not affiliated with them. I just saw it out on Twitter and I say, you know what? This would definitely be amazing, to actually talk about it in the video and everything like that for you guys. But yeah, that's really cool. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on to our next topic at hand here. We're going to keep the truck going. So this has to do with Dishonored, and Deus Ex lead calls Xbox a perfect fit for Bethesda. And so we know that last year, Microsoft inked the deal with Bethesda and Zenimax, I think for like $7 billion. I mean, of course, that deal is still not finalized yet, so we really don't know everything about that particular deal. But this is a huge perk for Microsoft, bleeding over into 2021 and beyond, because I think combined now they have what, like 23 studios. I think 8 from Bethesda and Zenimax, and then the other 15. So that makes it like 23. So the sky's the limit, for Xbox and everything like that they have, in the pipeline and everything. And I do believe that they're a perfect fit. I mean, Microsoft got the money, so they can literally fund whatever it is, that Bethesda or Zenimax is trying to do. And so if you got a partner like Microsoft behind you, then you're good to go, right? There shouldn't be no big deal or any problems or anything like that. So can't wait to see, a lot of these games roll out from Bethesda, Zenimax, Microsoft umbrella, and everything like that. I mean, we've been hearing talks that, the Xbox brand now is going to literally be the RPG system, right? There's going to be a lot of RPGs because of Bethesda and everything like that. And of course, we already know that, Bethesda, they're responsible for Doom, and they're responsible for what was it, Wolfenstein. So you can expect those titles to be, somehow sort of like exclusive on the system, and then, further down the line they might be on other systems. Because remember, Microsoft said that, they're not dismissing, other publishers, not publishers, but other companies receiving these titles. They're just going to be premiered on the Xbox brand first. They're going to look the best, play the best, and then they're not stopping, other companies for having those games on their system. So only time will tell. I do think that they're a perfect fit, for this whole deal and everything, because they got the capital, they got the money to fund whatever it is and make it happen. All right, so with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and talk about something that is actually very, very interesting, to say the least, here. And this has to do with Nintendo. And a lot of you guys know, when I first started this channel out, it was a Nintendo channel, and then I transferred over to PlayStation because I just love PlayStation more, because the games really kind of gravitate me. Nintendo is like the kid in me, like when I was growing up and everything, so that's never gonna go anywhere, right? But at the same time, it's interesting that Nintendo laughed their behinds off at Microsoft, because apparently years ago, I think like what, maybe 20 plus years ago or something like that, Microsoft was trying to buy Nintendo. Nintendo is not up for sale, bro. Nobody can buy Nintendo. I mean, they're their own entity. They're not up for sale. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Microsoft would have bought Nintendo, in the past. I mean, things would have been completely different right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the article real quickly here. It says Nintendo laughed their ASSES off at Xbox buyout offer, recalls launch exec. And so this is kind of crazy. It says, imagine an hour of somebody just laughing at you. That was kind of how that meeting went. Wow. Of course they were laughing, like, yeah, you think that, man, I don't care how much money you're going to throw at us and say, hey, look, we want to buy y'all out. Man, please, Nintendo is not up for sale. You know what I'm saying? All Nintendo's IPs, I mean, their stocks, everything, bro, is worth billions of dollars. But, Microsoft got that money. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, when you got Microsoft in your corner and you got a gold mine, I'm telling you, man, that's the recipe right there. So this was obviously, according to Bloomberg, there was like a new feature covering this situation about Microsoft business and all the individuals that was attempting to purchase various companies like EA. At one point they were trying to purchase EA, and of course Nintendo and everything like that. But yeah, they literally laugh in their face like, yo, this is not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? We not up for sale. We not up for grabs. So put that to rest. I just thought that was very, very interesting that 20 years ago and everything like that, that actually went down. But yeah, Microsoft got the money, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for that particular article there. That was very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic at hand. Now, this is a game, OutRiders. I've slept on this game. I don't really have a lot of interest in this game. I still need to see more about OutRiders. But anyways, it got delayed, and you know, like I said, delay a game and make it better. You don't want to do a whole cyberpunk situation, because if anything CD Projekt Red taught us is to take your time. Don't rush out. Don't be greedy. Don't piss your investors off, because that's going to be a big problem, right? Because your investors is what keeps things going. They keep you being paid and all of that type of stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead here and bleed over into the statement on the official OutRiders account and all of that good stuff. It says that we're excited to announce that on February 25th, 2021, we will be publishing a free demo, giving everyone the chance to play the first few hours of the game with all 4 classes in both single player and co-op, along with seamless migration of your character and progress to the full game. So this is very interesting here, and obviously they delayed the game because, you know, they wanted to, you know, work out the kinks and everything like that, try to, you know, polish it up and everything. So, you know, it is what it is. It says, speaking of which, we have decided to move the release date of OutRiders to April 1st, 2021. No joke. We will spend this extra time fine-tuning the game and focusing on delivering a fantastic play experience at launch. So there you guys go. You know, delay it, make it better. You know, a rush game is always a disaster game, right? So make sure you take all the time that you need to polish it and make it the best experience that you can possibly make it. All right, guys, so we're at the tail end version here of the news video. If you made it here, you're the real MVP. And to end it all off, Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo. We just finished talking about Nintendo not that long ago. Apparently they're dropping a Switch Pro this year. I mean, the Switch has been out since 2017, and we know a lot of developers are like kind of frustrated with Switch because it's not as powerful enough like the PS4 and the Xbox One and everything like that. So this particular Switch Pro, the last time I covered the Switch Pro, they said it's supposed to be equivalent to a base PS4, and a base PS4 is still good, because look at the games that we have gotten this whole entire generation, you know, from the PS4 and everything like that. So I mean, even if it's equivalent to a base PS4, that's still good. I mean, that's still strong enough to compete with these next gen consoles. Heck, the Switch right now by itself is competing, you know, with the PS5 and the Series X. So anyways, there's a report here from a data miner reportedly on Hertz. Switch Pro details. It's going to have a OLED, it's going to be 4K, and it's going to have a substantially better battery. Okay, and of course 4K, man, that battery gonna go quick. You see what I'm saying? Because you talk about 4K. 4K is a very demanding technology, very expensive technology. OLED, I'm pretty sure, you know, they can get this cheap, the technology cheaper, because OLED is expensive. But if you know, in this case where you're actually manufacturing like millions of freaking hardware and stuff, you could get it by the bulk. It's a lot cheaper. But that 4K is going to drain that battery. And when you hear 4K, you think about, you know, Sony and Microsoft, you think about PC, but not Nintendo. So I really don't know, but this is kind of crazy, because anytime you get certain informations from data mining, it's normally true. It just kind of all depends. But I know this situation is sort of like all over the place here. But apparently it's going to be based on the Tegra X1 Plus SoC, which is the same chip used in the Nintendo Switch Lite and 2019 revision. So this is interesting. Like I said, I'm not going to get too excited about this, because a lot of these, you know, Switch Pro leaks and everything ends up being a joke at the end of the day. But it's going to have an OLED screen, which that's going to be really good. And apparently it is going to have sort of a 4K UHD multimedia SoC. So interesting. Like I said before, I'm not gonna get too hype, and apparently it's going to be released in early 2021, so maybe the next Nintendo Direct or something like that. It says, ask about Switch Pro, as it's been nicknamed during Polygon interview published last month. Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser played down reports. Of course, he's not going to come out and really confirm anything, because Switch is still selling very well and everything like that. And if you guys know anything about marketing and business, if you come out with something new, then that depreciates the value of the old thing, right? So it's best to keep your mouth shut and wait for the actual, new device to reveal itself whenever they decide to do it. So that's why I said I'm not going to get too hype and too deep into this particular situation, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So thank you so much, guys, for the tremendous support. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, and make sure you take part into the PlayStation 5 disc-based version 50K subscriber giveaway. Link will be down in the description down below for that as well. Until next time, thank you guys so much. See you guys live tomorrow, potentially. We're supposed to be getting the internet back, and we're supposed to be getting the ball rolling in the scheme of things. I'm going to start off the new year with the first stream of the year and giving away some stuff to you guys. All right. One love and God bless. Stay true to my word. Peace. Be safe. We out of here.